morning, good day. As they say in India, namaste.
Today I wanted to talk about an Indian doctor in Melbourne who apparently specialises in gynacology, and how a supposedly simple procedure, surgical abortion, has left 2 people dead. Obviously the unwanted baby, but also the woman that was in the care of this Indian doctor. A doctor who is now facing medical registration suspension pending a major investigation. As it turns out, the doctor has already had a suspension in the past for allegations of sexual misconduct. So that's what I want to discuss in this video, as well as a few other important things the media are leaving out. But I also really want to ask the question, what sort of male doctor pursues a career specialising in gynecology and vaginal health? Is it just me, or is that a little creepy? If you are a woman watching this, wouldn't you feel more safe, confident and comfortable knowing that your OBGYN is a woman? Anyway, with that being said, the Hampton Park Women's Health Clinic, located in Melbourne's southeast, performs a greater number of abortions than the historic shrine to Moloch at Tofford ever did. Perhaps that's a video in of itself. They have a website boasting of highly trained and experienced staff, along with an array of convenient payment options like Afterpay. The clinic leaves very little doubt about its services. Additionally, the clinic claims to be, quote, Melbourne's most trusted women's health clinic, unquote. Despite these assurances, a major investigation has recently been launched after a young mother's shocking death at the clinic while undergoing surgical abortion. Harjit Kaur, a 30-year-old mother of 2, found herself unexpectedly pregnant after securing a new IT job with Nike. Together with her husband, she made the difficult choice to schedule an abortion for January 12. Tragically, Miss Kaur passed away while undergoing the procedure under the care of her surgeon, Dr. Rudolph Rudy Lopez. And just as a disclaimer, I want to refrain from insinuating any wrongdoing on the part of either Dr. Rudolph Lopez or the Hampton Park Women's Health Clinic, and I remain receptive to the findings of an ongoing investigation conducted by the Medical Board of Australia. With that being said, as pointed out by the Daily Mail, quote, Dr. Lopez on Friday had his registration suspended by the Medical Board of Australia, pending an investigation, using regulatory powers that are typically reserved for extreme cases, unquote. Following their initial investigation into Dr. Lopez, the watchdog has formed a specialised team to delve deeper into the broader industry, expressing grave concerns regarding patient health and safety. The Australian Health Practitioner Regulatory Agency, AHPRA, is collaborating with the State Health Department to conduct a comprehensive investigation involving multiple practitioners across various professions and practice locations. So it really seems that they're looking into this quite deeply. Multiple practitioners, multiple locations. It's essential to recognise that surgical abortion, like any medical procedure, carries inherent risks of complications, as emphasised by the National Health Service, a government body of the United Kingdom, who has claimed the following. As you can see, the short list of things that can occur pre-12 weeks and post-12 weeks. This isn't all of the things that can go wrong, this is just some of the common ones that they list. Serious complications such as heavy bleeding, damage to the womb, or sepsis. This happens to about 1 in 1,000 women. Very heavy bleeding, between about 1 and 10 out of 100 women. Injury to the womb or entrance to the womb, cervix. This happens to a small number of women. Infection. Effect on fertility, health and future pregnancies. And there are also a lot of other things which are mentioned on other websites which go into greater detail, which are not mentioned here. But even on this short list of general and potential side effects, we can see that even listed here are things that can end in death. It really is a sad situation for the family to be in. The husband who spoke to The Age is quoted as saying the following, quote, I tried to enter the general ward but they stopped me and asked me to stay outside. 5 minutes later, the doctor came to me and said, sorry, your wife is dead. I was dead then, my life destroyed in seconds, unquote. Family spokesperson Suresh Rajan said that an investigation into the practices of this clinic and into this particular doctor is what they have been waiting for. Mr. Singh described to Daily Mail Australia the harrowing moment he was finally let in to see his wife one last time. "I begged her to come back, for the sake of our little kids," he said. Martin Fletcher, chief executive of the AHPRA, said that further action needs to be taken to save lives. While the coroner continues to examine the tragic death of a patient, our inquiries are focusing on a wider range of issues that our investigation bring to light, Mr. Fletcher told The Age. "We are gravely concerned by the picture that is emerging. National boards stand ready to take any further regulatory action needed to keep patients safe." The watchdog refused to comment on the specific nature of Dr. Lopez's suspension while its probe was underway. "Patient safety is our paramount concern," it said in a statement on Friday. News.com.au disclosed that Mr. Lopez faced a prior suspension in 2021 following a finding by the Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal. The tribunal determined that he had been involved in sexual misconduct towards his patients spanning a 6-year period. Before conducting the examination, Dr. Lopez callously remarked, quote, "Ha, I didn't even have to buy you dinner first," unquote, illustrating his inappropriate demeanour. According to the same source, he told a patient her vagina was, quote, "nice," and looked just like an Australian one, unquote. The Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal further heard disturbing accounts of Dr. Lopez's behaviour, including making sexualised comments to a colleague over an extended period. These comments also included, but were not limited to, remarks such as, quote, "Do you want a shag? Can I see your vagina? Pretty please." And, "Can I please do your pap smears? Mates rates just for you," unquote. Additionally, he sent a colleague a text message with XX. Also engaged in unwelcome physical contact by offering multiple hugs, drawing his arm across her breasts, and touching her skin on her back and stomach. He even went as far to undo her bra strap and gaze down her shirt, crossing significant boundaries with blatant disregard for professionalism and respect.
Hi there, can you open up your cloth?
O&G magazine, an organisation who specialises in the practice of OBGYN, hailed Dr. Rudolph Lopez as an advocate for safe abortions. They also cited him in an article where he claimed, quote, "I became a doctor because I wanted to help people. Women need access to adequate contraception and safe family planning services. Yet, in many cases, women are unable to speak about their experiences in being denied this access. It is our responsibility as carers to speak on their behalf, to advocate for them, and to use our influence to advance their cause," unquote. Well, there you have it, folks. We all know about the meme, "Show Bobs and Vagine." And it seems it's more than just a meme. But on a much more serious note, I think it also addresses another issue we have in society, which is the normalisation of abortion. I think it's important that we take a pro-life stance on this topic. Our Australian culture is heading into a phase of now legalising and normalising full-term abortions. There have been plenty proposals and talks about exactly this. Even a second trimester abortion is totally sadistic in my opinion. It's just awful. I would also like to briefly play for you a short video of a former abortion expert, OBGYN doctor, who describes the procedure of a second trimester surgical abortion, which, from memory, I think is about the 12th or 13th week of pregnancy onwards.
Second trimester D&E abortions performed between roughly 14 and 24 weeks of gestation. Your patient today is 17 years old. She's 22 weeks pregnant. Her baby is the length of your hand plus a couple of inches. And she's been feeling her baby kick for the last several weeks, but she's asleep on an operating room table. You walk into that operating room scrubbed and gowned, and after removing laminaria, you introduce a suction catheter into the uterus. This is a 14 French suction catheter. If she were 12 weeks pregnant or less, basically the width of your hand or smaller, you could basically do the entire procedure with this. But babies this big don't fit through catheters this size. After suctioning the amniotic fluid out from around the baby, you introduce an instrument called a Sofer clamp. It's about 13 inches long. It's made of stainless steel. The business end of this clamp is about 2.5 inches long and 1/2 inch wide. There are rows of sharp teeth. This is a grasping instrument. When it gets a hold of something, it does not let go. A Dyenia procedure is a blind abortion, so picture yourself introducing this and grabbing anything you can blindly and pull, and I do mean hard, and out pops a leg about that big, which you put down on the table next to you. Reach in again, and pull out an arm about the same length, which you put down on the table next to you. And use this instrument again and again to tear out the spine, the intestines, the heart and lungs. Head on the baby that size is about the size of a large plum. Can't see it, but you pretty good idea you've got it if you've got your instrument around something and your fingers are spread about as far as they go. You know you did it right if you crush down on the instrument and white material runs out of the cervix. That was the baby's brains. Then you could pull out skull pieces. And you have a day like I had a lot of times, sometimes a little face comes back and stares back at you. Congratulations, you just successfully performed a second trimester Dyenia abortion. You just affirmed her right to choose.
It's a grim reality. Surgical abortion can lead to medical complications, and I don't believe it should be normalised as a form of contraception in our society, which is ever increasing its anti-Christ agenda. It's simple. Don't kill God's children. And I know this is a controversial topic, and we've all heard the arguments for and against. I'm not going to go over that today. And with that being said, be sure to like the video, comment your thoughts below, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to share this video around on social media. Thanks for watching.